You rolling?
Yep.
Okay, Brian McKenzie, CrossFit Endurance. We're going to talk about warm-up specific to running. And you can vary this depending on the length or intensity of what it is you're going to do, but think of it like this. The shorter we go, the greater the warm-up needs to be, the better the warm-up needs to be. The longer we go, like let's just say you're going to go run 100 miles. It's not that you don't go warm up, but you're not necessarily going to need something to warm up. It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to do it in a real big warm up for something like that, where your pace is going to start, but you're not going to be very fast. Where if we're going to go do something like 400 meter repeats or 200s or even 100s, you're going to need a pretty big warm up, and we will get into the kind of dynamics of that. So what we like to start off with, we'll look at this in terms of 5 to 10 minutes, depending on what you're going to do. Let's just say a 5K, maybe we'd go at 5 minutes. And the 10-minute piece would be something that's going to be shorter, maybe 800s or below, where you're going to need a little bit more time to get a little warmed up. So we're going to go 5 to 10 minutes of increasing pace. And you want to increase that pace towards the end, where you're kind of not at top speed, but at a good pace, where you want to start off real easy and then steadily increase. This is just a general warm-up to start. Secondly, we want to get into 5 to 10 minutes of mobility. And if you've ever worked or you've ever seen what I do with my athletes or when I've talked about target-based training, this is where everything kind of starts to fall in line with that target, where we look at the holes that they have. But we also look at what the workout we're doing is. Typically for running, our focus would normally probably be between the ankles and the hips. Okay, and I look at things in terms of joint, like Starrett does. So we'd want to focus on probably the hips, the ankles, maybe the knees, even the shoulders, but the prioritization of that goes with the athlete and where the biggest problems lie. So we want to start with, we want to go with like 5 to 10 minutes of mobility, and Starrett has plenty of that stuff on Mobility WOD, so we can go and check that stuff out there. But this is how we like to first start that off. We go to 5 to 10 minutes of increasing the pace, 5 to 10 minutes of the mobility. Then we're going to go into 5 to 10 minutes of skills and pace increase. Okay? By that, I mean we'd be doing some skill drill stuff to ingrain the type, whatever movement we're doing, and let's just say it's running, so we're going to apply a lot of the drills, and we've got plenty of drills out there. You can find them either on CrossFit or CrossFit Journal that we've done on the internet. Apply some of these, apply the ones that make the most sense for you, that work best for you. We want to do these with some pickups. So things like maybe 100 meters and maybe 5 to 8 of them. Now, that doesn't mean that we're going out and running 5 to 8 100-meter all-out sprints. That means we're doing some drills and we're kind of tying those together with some hundreds, where we're picking up the pace and getting faster and faster as we go. And so we've basically got this 5 to 10 minute piece where we're steadily increasing this stuff, including with the skill stuff. We also want to throw in some dynamic, range of motion, or mobility stuff, just in case, just to turn some things back on, open the hips up a little more, open the calves, the knees, the ankles, all that stuff back up. We then like to give yourselves about 5 minutes rest right before we work it out. Okay? It's pretty simple, but it's very effective, and as you can see, we're looking at anywhere from about 30 to 40 minutes. You could potentially be up there for 40 minutes of warming up before we get going. And one of the biggest problems that we see with people that we're coaching and we're working with is their warm-up time. This also goes into our cool downs. What would we do for cool down? And kind of in the exact opposite, more or less, what I like to do is add some sort of skill work, maybe in less than 5 minutes of it, but we add a little bit of skill work, then just to kind of get that central nervous system still stimulated. Then we want to get into maybe some mobility, or even going and decreasing the pace a little bit and just going for a walk, something like that. But spending about, just depends on the intensity, anywhere from 15 to maybe 20 minutes of cooling down. Just depends on the intensity of what it is you're doing. But you want to gradually bring that cool down in. Cool? Have fun.